Also, for increasing motivation, is good to provide students with inspirational role models in order to prepare their minds to follow such models. Well, if these are the main aspects of sustainability, we are moving further to strategies for sustaining STEAM education. But before going further, I would like you to work in groups and to answer the first question.
To what extent is it?
Yes, please refer to the learning and activity plan you already received.
Yes, and these plans are actually for like 2 hours. Yeah, so it's like it's like 12 to 15. So this has 8 learning hours. Is 8 here. It has less. Yeah. 4 lessons. First activity is like video discussion. Second activity is like virtual groups. Causes of hunger. No. This is
It's going to take 8 hours to find that.
I think like the activity would take more time because like data research and processing of data. It's like the kind of number of activities and how we divided it in number of hours. So like teacher device tasks, read and so the links are given. The websites that we mentioned to complete the test at the beginning of the lesson. Using the evaluatory media presentation, climate change on the other hand, environmental and food production, that's an important how the field means like going back to the time change, the whole project or can we have to primary take a video and making sure the activity based on the information they analyze this menu, the manager said
to have a more feasible specific destination. Actually, IT teacher and the teacher needs to teach students how to code, how to make a better passage, and how to sell their idea. Okay? How can we make it more effective in terms of teaching? How you guys can help, but as far as I'm concerned, I think they should be divided into different groups and should be allocated a specific task as such. Here what we have said is that the teaching goes in steps, right? So the teacher introduces the theoretical basics and search problems, solving algorithms. It helps students to solve specific tasks and preparing the result for the presentation.
We are very much focused on this topic, but unfortunately time is short. So just let's see what you have to comment. Group 1, please, what is your answer to the question?
Listening to you had looking in a room.
It's just this specific plan because it combines all the different curriculums into one project, which is good. But then the activities are quite linear in ordering how to do it. So implementing it in a school where you have different teachers for different subjects according to the timetable.
So how could you solve this issue? Do you think could you apply this in your school? This school, we are talking about this school. To what extent you can apply it?
So you'd have to
It
either
might be
adjust,
very limited, or
you'd have to either be able to adjust the order in which you could teach it, or just this timetable so that the science teacher could be with them at the science tasks and the maths teacher could be with them at the maths tasks. And
so your suggestion is that to divide the project into different components and do in different lessons.
yeah.
Yes.
Or you would have to adjust the timetable so you could have all 4 teachers together with the class at the same time in all of the
At
lessons.
some point, maybe. At some point, maybe.
Let's see, what is your conclusion about this question?
Ne-am gândit să împărțim acest proiect în mai multe etape și pe mai multe grupe de vârstă. Spre exemplu, în prima etapă ne-am gândit la o vârstă a 8-10 ani, înțelegând clasele 3-5, dacă nu mă înșel, nu? Sau mai mare decât 5. Etapa a doua să fie între 10 și 12 ani și etapa a treia 12-14 ani. Asta corespunzător claselor în învățământul gimnazial, liceal. Și apoi vrem să atingem, bineînțeles, în colaborare cu profesorii de științe, biologie, fizică, matematică, chimie, da? Arte și antreprenoriat, în prima etapă, deci mă refer la cei mici, să înțeleagă conceptele de poluare și reciclare. În etapa a doua, să compare datele privind poluarea din diferite surse, să identifice tipurile de plastic și costurile care le implică procesul de reciclare. Asta înseamnă că ei trebuie să știe deja să gândească problemele de matematică și ce înseamnă lucrul cu costurile unui proces tehnologic. Și apoi etapa a treia, cea mai înaltă, ar presupune să recunoască și să enumere metodele de reducere a poluării, să distingă efectele poluării și să gândească un proiect, mă gândesc eu, un proiect pentru a realiza un produs din materiale reciclabile. Deci ăsta ar fi, să zicem, vârful icebergului. Iar cu toate astea am văzut, am citit aici din ce ați făcut dumneavoastră foarte frumos, în cele 8 activități, se concretizează și într-o revistă digitală. Nu? Înțeleg bine? Deci o revistă digitală care ar fi bună și care și-ar găsi aplicarea, mă gândesc eu chiar în toate unitățile de învățământ, că nu este greu de realizat o revistă digitală. E drept că sunt mai multe provocări la acest lucru. Odată este realizarea produsului din materiale reciclabile și apoi găsit un colectiv de redacție pentru această colectiv multidisciplinar pentru această revistă.
Avem echipă de media și marketing. Da.
Avem echipă, deci putem realiza lucrul ăsta și mă gândesc că ar fi interesant de aplicat și în curriculum fiecărei discipline. Ziceți aici un număr de 12 ore de învățare. Aproximativ, e deja, nu știu, e pretențios. Dar dacă îi luăm cu în etape, cu grupele de vârstă, cum le-am enumerat, eu zic că se poate realiza.
It cannot be done in isolation, like only science teacher cannot do everything.
Yes.
STEAM is, M is for mathematics, but usually it is a very important part is missing in the science projects.
Yes.
So what I believe that it should be done in the beginning of the session, that certain topics should be associated with all, like it is, like if I'm talking about the pollution, it is related to geography as well. Geography, science, and mathematics. And then how they are going to present is then an artwork. So everything, but these certain projects should be like discussed in the beginning of the session, that these will be done as a PBL and as a STEAMy projects, so that other concepts will be taught by the teacher, but the PBL is done, so all the interdisciplinary are there.
I was just thinking, because I've been thinking for a long time how to integrate this in our curriculum and to work with maths, with IT department, art. And I think we should specifically write in the curriculum or our capital planning STEAM lesson.
Yes.
And then collaborate with the departments on how we have, because actually the theory is okay, we read, we know, but how do you actually apply it? That's difficult.
I really like
What
how
exactly is the role of IT?
I really like how our discussion is like really practical. However, the point was to be creative. How we can be more creative in this lesson.
Yeah, just a minute, because you have a different question than the other two groups.
But the sure.
Yeah. What I understood is that those creativity and learning plans can be applied with some changes and adaptations, and this is indeed part of creativity. These are just suggestions. This is why they are called learning and creativity plans. They are not lesson plans. So from these ideas which are provided into these learning plans, you can develop some other ideas and arrangements for practical use of those.
Well, let's say this is like the idealistic plan you can follow, but in reality it will be a little less, not less, but a little streamlined.
Yes. As you already noticed, we need to plan very carefully the curriculum so that to ensure the connections between the different disciplines, and this should be done by the end of the school year and beginning of next school year. Find the time, meet together and plan together. Another strategy to sustain the STEAM approach is related to professional development for educators. So we can consider that what is happening here now is part of it. It's good that the organization develops ongoing professional and create ongoing professional opportunities for training on issues related to STEAMy. And it's also important to develop collaborative networks to share resources, experiences, and best practices, and to foster a community of continuous learning and support. So you are a private school, there are also other private schools. It would be good to develop networks between the schools and share different resources.
Yeah, for this, do you think you can facilitate these links? Because we've tried with some schools, but they didn't respond, so.
Yes, we can discuss a bit later. Another strategy is, as you already know, collaborative teaching and learning. That's supposed to develop team teaching opportunities. And this team teaching contexts are important not only for teachers working together, but also for students, because they will see these models of teachers working together, and they will better understand that collaboration is very
We have
important.
tried that.
Yes.
We've tried this year.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know if it's
No, I liked it.
Yeah. And well, student collaboration is important, but group work should be quite structured to be effective, because you should emphasize that different skills of different students should be put together to solve complex problems. It depends on students' abilities, students' skills, mindsets, and it's good to give different roles in groups and make students assume a specific role for a specific activities. So no one should be left outside doing nothing for the project. Using technologies and resources are also part of strategies to sustain STEAM education. Ideally, access to virtual labs, coding tools, online simulations will be very good, but not necessarily. It's important to use all kind of hands-on activities based on resources you can find around. And use your creativity to find more and more resources which are in the environment, the classrooms, but give sense to these resources to be used for educational purposes. And of course, resource sharing. When more platforms will be developed, a collection of lesson plans, activity guides, and other digital content should be made available. And the project will offer and will make free to public different resources of this type. We continue. Another strategy for sustaining STEAM education is developing community and industry partnerships. So it's good to develop collaborations with different businesses and sectors in industry and experts from different branches to provide students with insights into real-world applications of STEAM. It is also about continuous improvement. And as we talked earlier, it's about regular evaluation in order to make necessary adjustments based on feedback and outcomes, because applying STEAM projects is a continuous problem-solving process, and this is why we need to evaluate regularly and make adjustments when needed. And also to look at scalable models, see what has been already developed and what works in some contexts, and adapt what worked in other parts to suit your environment. Actually, the STEAM project produced 100 creativity, learning and creativity plans. The project has 14 partners, and they produce together these 100 learning and creativity plans. They will be available on the project platform, so you can use them and use your creativity to adapt them to your needs. Okay. This was about strategies to sustain STEAM approaches. Now we move further to strategies for improving the STEAM process. It is about, first of all, integrative and innovative curriculum. And we should pay attention to curriculum design and incorporate emerging topics. Another strategy is to emphasize hands-on and experiential learning. And as we already talked, might be about laboratory-based and maker spaces. But it can be simpler field trips and other real-world applications, and using, as I said, various resources for hands-on development. Next is about embracing technology and innovation, to pay attention to digital integration and use various online platforms and resources. But we already know that technology could have various problems related to ethics and influencing different mindsets. So together with technology, we have to foster on critical thinking and problem solving based on critical thinking. And here, addressing tasks that are focused on critical thinking is very important. And also, case studies and simulations can be used. Another strategy for improving the STEAMing process is developing some creativity workshops. And here, it was a very striking experience I had, and I always remember that. I have visited some classrooms in Singapore, and they were very disciplined students there in very large classrooms, 40, even 50 students in a class. All the time very disciplined, doing also interdisciplinary lessons and also subject-specific lessons. But they had, in addition, creativity workshops, creativity lessons. So students in Singapore are doing creativity lessons, lessons focused on creativity. That is the topic. Of course, we have A here in STEAMy, and this is not just to add something. Arts are very important. We are looking around and we see a lot of kitsch design of different objects. We can hear all kinds of music. So it's a societal need to bring arts into this. And also art is an important way to stimulate creativity. When combining arts and science, arts and mathematics, creativity can be stimulated. And then we have encouraging entrepreneurship, connect lessons with various enterprises and offer students business challenges. Why this? Because business is coming with rewards, and this might make students to be more motivated. And competitions and showcases also can stimulate motivation, and support are important. And last but not least, building a supportive learning environment. For this, we need inclusive classroom practices. That means all students with different abilities, ethnicities, and capabilities can work together and should have their roles and their specific integration into the groups. And also student feedback and reflection are important. Always about change. and climate change is affecting everything. So this is why it's another reason we need to understand interdisciplinary learning and interdisciplinary activities. And coming back to this, by implementing these strategies, educational institutions can enhance the STEAM process, making it more engaging, relevant, and effective to prepare students for academic careers and future job opportunities. Well, so we discussed strategies for improving the STEAM process, and now you have on the pink page something to do. I know the time is pressing us and the rain also, but let's try to do this very quick. What do you think? The second line here, also based on the well, it would be good if you can make a small design and put it on a piece of paper. A piece of paper like that. Okay. A big piece of paper. Like that. Here, your idea is paper.
you.